Now, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Mr. Kersi Deboo, to say a few words and share his thoughts on the book.
Good evening, everybody. I read Mr. Kapadia, Mr. Bhattacharya, Prochi, and all of our friends. It gives me great pleasure to be here. My thanks to Mr. Niyogi of Niyogi Books, the publisher of the book, who is the Parsi, by Prochi Mehta. 6 months back, after my appointment as a member of National Commission for Minorities, I was introduced to Prochi Mehta by one of our common friends. She sent me 3 books at that time, about 6 months back. The Parsis of Calcutta and some other topics was there. And then after, before 2 months, she sent, who is the Parsi, this book was sent. Topics she has discussed in this book are very lively and interesting. The book is kind of time capsule or a milestone for future generations to come. The controversy of who can be considered as a Parsi is raging from time to time of the delivery of famous judgment given by Justice Biman and Justice Davar till date. Till date, looking back to our history about 200 years, we can easily observe that we have changed. A tussle between Orthodox and Reformists is age-old, but we can observe that reforms are slow but certain. Once, which was called anti-religious activities, nowadays it's a normal practice. After we came to India from Iran, we started following many customs of the land, keeping away customs we were following in Iran. The question is, who framed the rules for the community? So going back to few years, in 1787, Bombay government issued instruction to form a panchayat to look after and settle internal dispute and manage affairs of the community. This way, several panchayats and anjumans framed certain rules and regulations by calling public meeting and passing resolutions according to that time. But unfortunately, the trustee began to behave like supreme authority and answerable to none. Laymen have to follow what they order. They had right to beat and insult a person by beating with shoes. सीधे खांसदा मारवानी सजा. कोई religious point के ऊपर. अच्छा. So, passing resolutions by beating by shoes. If any community member disobey and break the rules framed by the panchayat, they had to follow what panchayat or anjuman decides. Girls were not allowed to go to school. Marriage between ladies and priestly class were not encouraged and were prohibited. A woman had to stay away for few days for a menstrual period. There were so many customs like that. A case of Mirbai and Doshibai is very interesting. About 200 years back, Mirbai Kama, a rich lady, decided to educate her daughter Doshibai and sent her to school run by a British lady. It was forbidden for a girl to go to school. As Mirbai broke the tradition, she and her family were excommunicated by Panchayat. Widows' marriage were also forbidden. Ladies were not allowed to seek employment. When Jamsetji Jijibai started girls' school, Orthodox lobby had opposed. Today we are proud of Miss Pinaz Masani as a ghazal singer, but Khorshid Binochar Homji and her sister was a nightmare. When they were stopped to perform on stage and in film, she was forced to change her name from Khorshid to Saraswati Devi, and she was the first lady musician of Indian cinema. This was the time. The Panchayat was everything, and they were forced to certain customs. There are so many such cases in Parsi history. Reforms are slow but sure. We have changed in last 2 centuries. Time forced us to do so. We don't know what will happen in coming years. We have to change ourselves, or time will force us to change. In this book, Prochi has rightly quoted Dadabhai Naoroji, a reformist of its time. Dadabhai Naoroji also one of the person who had advocated for girls' education, and he was opposed. One Parsi, when Dadabhai Naoroji went to a Parsi and asked him to put her daughter in school, so the Parsi said, "Yati tane pheki devas, I will throw away from gallery." And that was time. So Dadabhai Naoroji quotation is also there. At present, there were 2 main cases which are pending in court. One is in Calcutta High Court, which Proche has already done, and another one in Supreme Court by Gurlok Gupta, who has challenged the Parsi Panchayat for not allowing her to enter Parsi religious property and for not allowing her to perform religious rites, even though she has married a non-Parsi under a Special Marriage Act. So, Prochi has challenged the authority by writing this book with lot of evidence and quotes from religious books and opinion of Parsi Zoroastrian scholars. Since the matter is in the court, let them decide. I am neither an orthodox nor a religious scholar, but do believe that law and society must change with time. Of course, by court verdict and by mutual understanding in community. Now, who is a Parsi? It is question mark. So, I think it is yet to be decided. Who will decide it? Court will decide or community will decide. I once again thank Prochi Mehta and Niyogi Book for inviting me as guest of honor on the occasion of launching of this book. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We all know that we've come a long way in terms of reforms, but as Sir said, we have to change or time will force us to change. With this, what is the road ahead?